is our topic? Who is fooling who?
Beyond this, you can pause and get this. No, I think it's beyond. Just go back. Are you okay? Yeah, check back. Nigeria, we want to know the purpose of your meeting with the AGA this morning, sir. Yes, this is the members of the Southeast Senate Caucus, and we are here to see the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice on a very, very important matter to the people of the Southeast. It's the matter concerning Nnamdi Kanu and the continued legal wranglings concerning his incarceration. The Southeast Senate Caucus, just like the rest of the members of the Southeast, put the business leaders, the clergy, the political people, and everybody in the Southeast are all very worried about it, knowing that that has been the fulcrum, I would say, for what is going on in the Southeast regarding the insecurity. All the criminals and all the people going around causing mayhem in the Southeast have all said that it is because Nnamdi Kanu is being held. We know that this is...
Welcome back to the program and thank you for...
It's just that we have gotten to the point where people are now hijacking a legitimate call for his release and turning it into something that has led to deaths and destruction of properties and so many other undescribable mayhem that is going on in the Southeast. And so we came to meet with the Minister of Justice and Attorney General because we know that at the end of the day, everything that happens in the political, in the legal scheme will eventually come to his office. And we came to appeal to him to help us to let Mr. President know that all leaders of the Southeast feel that the release of Nnamdi Kanu will help in dousing all the tensions and everything that is going on in the Southeast. And we are very, very certain that his duty as the Attorney General also gives him the powers of nolle prosecute, the powers of making sure that litigation don't continue and the sufferings of the people of the Southeast continue. That is the essence of why we came here. And I think you know also, I think it's also clear that several different groups in the Southeast, including the Southeast governors who met yesterday, have all been making exactly the same type of plea. And we think that this will help us to bring to an end all the insecurity problems going on presently.
So focus met Mr. Kanu to know whether it is willing to accept either conditional release or no.
Yes, on behalf of the caucus, I met with Nnamdi Kanu myself on behalf of the rest of the caucus on Monday. Today is Wednesday. We met with him between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. on Monday, and he is very, very supportive of this, our plea to the President and of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yes.
They need a senator to be supportive this time around. Would you be willing to stand?
I don't think that is necessary to ask. We came here on his behalf. And that tells you that
Joining
any
us
of
once
our
again.
senators
Slowly, we're
that you
winding
see,
down.
the 15 of us, by the way, the 15 of us signed this letter. A few of us are not here just for reasons of logistics and all that. Some are also not. But we all signed the letter, and you will also have a copy of the letters that we did. So any senator in the Southeast is very willing. The governors are willing. The business leaders are willing. The clergy, they are willing. So the traditional rulers are also willing. So I do not think that anything will stop us if it comes to that. And he has also assured me that he is ready to fulfill any conditions that are put that will lead to his early release.
Sir, is there any positive response from the AGF?
Yes, the AGF received us very warmly and also told us that, of course, this is a request for which he has to go and study it, digest it, and take to the president, because he won't take the ultimate decision. I think it's a decision of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Mr. Rasti, I don't know if I asked you because I think this. What is your appeal to the president to the people of this very case?
The appeal is that this matter cannot be resolved legally, and if we continue with the legal wrangling, that it will continue to cause the insecurities, because the legitimate demands has been hijacked by criminals, undesirables, and all manners of elements who have used it to perpetrate their own nefarious deals on the rest of the people of the Southeast. Nobody in the Southeast likes what is going on. People cannot go out of their houses on Mondays. People are maimed and killed and all that. And some people are roaming around, killing even security men in the name of looking for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And Nnamdi Kanu himself also confirmed to me last Monday that he never made any request of that nature, that anybody should go and kill people. In fact, he was very pained that the Southeast is suffering because of this. And he assured me that when the day is out, is also the day that they will now know those who are legitimate agitators and those who are criminal elements. Sorry, sir. We're done.
Speaking Senator, good morning, sir.
Down, but not before we discuss the controversy I spoke about earlier. Recently, it was reported in a widely publicized article that the Apex Sociocultural Organization, Ohaneze, had claimed that some of the Southeast governors and political elites were sabotaging negotiations for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The veracity of this remark, however, is the question. We are joined now by the National Publicity Secretary, Ohaneze worldwide, Dr. Chiedozie Obonaya. Welcome to the program. Thank you for making our time to be here this early.
Thank you.
Let's look at the statement. I mean, I'm rather confused. You know, going over it this morning, I saw that it was actually released by the Secretary General of the Association, Mazi Okechukwu Isiguzoro. So tell us, why exactly would he say this, but Ohaneze is saying otherwise? Why are you distancing yourself from that claim?
Well, in the first place, the Secretary General of Ohaneze worldwide is Ambassador Emuche, MFR. The last position he held before he retired from public service, Nigerian ambassador in South Africa. That's the status of somebody who is the National Secretary of Ohaneze worldwide. I've heard that name you are talking about. He has issued a lot of press releases, but we continue to plead with him that sometimes he pushes people into confusion. For example, at a point when about 50 lawmakers are channeling proposing, reaching out, writing to the presidency, trying to lobby for more support for Nnamdi Kanu to be released. At a point, somebody like E.K. Clark is working hard to see how Nnamdi Kanu is released. Chief Emmanuel Iwanyang, about 2 weeks ago, was there talking about releasing Nnamdi Kanu. A lot of people is gaining momentum, releasing for Nnamdi Kanu, gaining momentum. And somebody issued a press release that about 3, we have 5 state governors.
Yes.
Then someone is saying that 3 are against the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Is person promoting, how is person helping Nnamdi Kanu now? How is person helping the Igbo? How is person helping the Igbo aspiration for Nnamdi Kanu to be released from the incarceration?
Making it an internal crisis.
For example, I think the presidency here get to know that the release of Nnamdi Kanu is a threat to Igbo land. How does it really help the matter? So we pleaded with them all the time to stop issuing all these statements, which are at variance with Igbo interests. But somehow, it becomes some Igbos are very recalcitrant and uncontrollable. It is need for us to let you know that we are very much determined to follow up the release of Nnamdi Kanu from incarceration. It's overdue. This is because Nnamdi Kanu, some people misunderstand the issue. They don't understand it very well. Nnamdi Kanu is like a phenomenon that represents a lot of interests. Nnamdi Kanu represents the restiveness of the youth of the Southeast as a result of marginalization and the alienation from the centers of power. A lot of conspiracy against the Igbo. For example, 2023, it was generally known that it was time for Igbo to produce a president for Nigeria. But there were a lot of shenanigans and conspiracy theories against Igbo, and that deprived us of the presidency for Nigeria. Such is that there was a time we had about 15 Sabi chiefs in this country, and no Igbo was considered fit enough to head one. So these were basis for the agitation in the Southeast. More to that, unemployment. Igbo, anytime they go for employment, most of them are not considered because of their background, because of ethnic background. This is cost restiveness, unemployment in the Southeast. What is Nnamdi Kanu talking about? Nnamdi Kanu is instead of continuing this orchestrated marginalization and indignities, it's better to allow them to go. That's what Nnamdi Kanu is talking about. I think we should understand it. Nnamdi Kanu represents a phenomenon of even letting people know that even the Igbo have capacity to turn around the events to their own advantage, like what happened during the war. About 3 years war, Igbo sustained it by ability, ingenuity, manufacturing spare parts, making vehicles move. Igbo were able to pilot aircraft. Igbo were able to sustain that war. Igbo were able to do a lot of things, created their own telephone, developed bomb, and a lot of things they used their ingenuity to do. But that Nnamdi Kanu and Biafran reminds every Igbo that the Igbo capacity and ingenuity to turn around the event, turn out disadvantage to advantage, and move the economy of Nigeria to assuming that it's fully integrated in the national affairs of this country. So Nnamdi Kanu represents not just Nnamdi Kanu as a person, but at least the event of this country and how it affects Igbo. So that's why all of us in Ohaneze are very much interested in this. And what we are saying that it has to be political, because continue to try him and this and that, talking about terrorism and so on. It's all funny. So we are talking about a political solution to the release, whichever way. But there's need for him to be released.
So it leads me to ask, before we forge ahead, who exactly is this self-acclaimed Secretary General of the association? Who is he exactly?
African television has gone so global. Both in quality of programs as well. I don't want to use this platform to promote, to dignify by calling any person's name. All these interlopers, people who answer what they are not. But of course, I have still the National Secretary of Ohaneze and the President of Emmanuel Iwanya. I'm the spokesman. And of course, so every person in Nigeria knows it. But unfortunately, journalists go to promote such characters. And they know that they are intruders, they are interlopers. They know that there are people who go to somewhere they don't say. There are people who are transactional. There are people who are transactional in their dealings with people, who want to use the name of Ohaneze for their own selfish interest.
What is giving him that power?
Oh, power is that somebody goes on the internet now and all these blue envelope journalists, By the time they issue press, they issue statement, they'll carry them. What power again does they have? Can he summon meeting of Igbo? They cannot summon Igbo meeting. If you ask him who is his own president, who is his public secretary, who is the financial secretary, who is whatever, he doesn't have any. He just says he's going to use computer, do it and pray, release it, and go. This is what we call what is the brown envelope to some soft, and they will carry him in the net, and before you know it, it becomes a social media
sensation.
Event. So that's what it is. I don't want to dignify anybody by calling them, so that's what it is. But I know we have issued state releases, press releases severally to let people know that the National Secretary of Ohaneze and Igbo is okay Muche, and the President General is Emmanuel Iwanyawo. It is known to every Igbo all over. When we talk about Edwin Clark and those other leaders of when they invite him for Ohaneze, we are the people they invite. They all know the authentic, legitimate Ohaneze is known by everybody. But the illegitimate, people that go by that name, they're also known by the media world. But unfortunately, they continue to carry them.
So, what are your thoughts on the possibility of an out-of-court settlement?
Yeah, that's what Ohaneze have been talking about. Out-of-court settlement. What to make magnanimity of the presidency can even take care of it. What we call out-of-court settlement. The magnanimity of the presidency. Because, okay, we have, about 3 years ago, went to Ebonyi State when Governor was there. Mbazika Mechi went there and said, please, Buhari, give me Nnamdi Kanu, hand him over to me, and I'll take care of whatever. And Buhari refused. I handed everything over to Tinubu. We have been asking releasing Nnamdi Kanu to us for whatsoever. You can use his magnanimity to do so. You can use it as a lawyer can even find one thing or the other upon which he will be released. But the fact is that we are asking for political solution. We are asking for non-kinetic approach to the issues of the Southeast. It's a matter of mounting roadblocks everywhere, and every other time you want to move from Enugu to Owerri, you stay about 3 hours, a journey of 1 hour. You stay about 4 hours before you get to 5 hours or 6 hours before you get to Port Harcourt. All this is kinetic methods of checkmating security in a given area. That's a non-kinetic approach. Do you know that there's a kind of policy statement that the president can make today, the presidency can make today? Everything about all this will change. They know it. There's a policy statement that if made today by the presidency, there will be jubilation galore in the whole of Southeast, and all this will change. So instead of using roadblock, make certain statements in favor of the Igbo, they will begin to jubilate. And that's what we have been asking. I hope you understand.
Yes.
So you are asking whether you can use a kind of Nnamdi Kanu case can be settled out of court. Yes, it's a possibility. A lot of them have happened like that in the past. This is not the first time. You can cite other instances where the president used their magnanimity to release somebody. So that's it. But we also know that whatever happened, just like when you look at the case of Nelson Mandela, there has continued to be clamor, like what happened in the National Assembly today. Maybe about
Yes, am I still on? We are coming, please. We are coming. Wow.
economy for Nigeria.
Let's look
I
at
hope you understand.
very well. Let's look at the role of some of the other agitators or supported agitators and the impact that they are
also know that whatever happened, just like when you look at the case of Nelson Mandela, there has continued to be clamor, like what's happening in the National Assembly today. Maybe about 3 years ago, the kind of support Nnamdi Kanu is getting at the National Assembly wouldn't have been there. It could have been a few support, but today is 50. I'm sure that by next month or two, the number will continue to grow. You know, it will grow. Whether Nnamdi Kanu will be released or he won't be released. I hope you understand. You know, see what happened to Nelson Mandela. Even when he was in prison, they were giving him awards. And the clamor was all over the world. And eventually, he was released. So the more they are detaining Nnamdi Kanu, the more they are even making him popular. To be released, whether he be released or not, he must be released. There's no doubt about that. But what we are talking about is, earlier he is released, the better for the country. The better he reduce restiveness and insecurity in the southeast, sit at home and the rest of them. The earlier some of these things stop, the better for the economy of the southeast and better for the economy for Nigeria.
Let's look
I
at
hope you understand.
Very well. Let's look at the role of some of the other agitators or supported agitators and the impact that their activities have on the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu. When I talk about these agitators, I'm talking about Simon Ekpa, who is away in Finland. What impact is the actions having on this continued incarceration?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, we have issued statements against what Simon Ekpa is doing. I've been threatened severally. I've been under threat for many times that I spoke against Simon Ekpa. But the truth is that we are opposed to sit at home in whatever form. From beginning, we have been opposed to Ohaneze. Have been opposed to it because Ohaneze comprises not just myself or Emmanuel Iwanyanwu, but eminent people who have been experienced and accomplished. Some people who can sit down and envision the consequences of certain actions. So we had a vision that it at all will not be of any advantage. And of course, we always oppose such things.
What about the Biafra Remembrance Day, the Biafra Heroes Day?
Remembrance Day I think when Biafra Remembrance Day, like I said, in fact, every Igbo man is a Biafran. So no reasonable person wake up and say he's opposing Remembrance Day. So even when you are not comfortable with it, you may, but to enforce it is where the problem lies. Who is the enforcer? Non-state actor is enforcing it. I hope you understand. I would say, like myself, any other, when you mention Biafra, I'm touched. It's like that every Igbo. But to begin non-state actors to enforce certain things, that is where the problem comes in. I hope you understand.
Yes.
So that's it.
All right. Are there any factors you would like to elaborate on? Perhaps factors that could be stopping the IPOB leader, Nnamdi Kanu, from being released? Is there any factor that you think could be contributing to it, judging by the statement which you have now said is not authentic, is not originating from Ohaneze? Are there factors that you think are more appropriately contributing to his not being set free?
Yeah, the factors such as what, if you come to IPOB now, looking at IPOB, one would think they are divided. One would think they are divided because Ekpa claims to be IPOB in a way. So they seem to be divided. Number two, the mainstream IPOB people sometimes are opposed to Ohaneze because sometimes we don't support their views. Like when there was supposed to be election in Anambra during the time of Soludo. Is it Soludo? Yeah, it's Soludo. Yeah, Soludo election. Even Obiano election. Obiano election, his second term was threatened by IPOB at that time. Ohaneze stood against it. That was only when he was president general. And it was clash between Ohaneze and IPOB. So sometimes the IPOB people don't really think we are protecting their interests. Sometimes they label us with names, negative names. Sometimes they call you Fulani, this and that. That is the truth. Is that I've never had anything to do with the Fulani in any way, apart from what you are seeing here. So sometimes they label you are this or that. They label me APC. But every person knows that I'm one of the founders of PDP in Enugu, and I've never had anything to do with APC. So there are a lot of negative castigations on the Igbo leaders. So you can see that one of the problems, it's not affecting the what is happening in Nnamdi Kanu anymore. But we are asking that all of us should come together. There's no reason why we should begin to suspect and fight each other. Because we are looking for the same thing. Welfare of the Igbo. How to promote the Igbo interests. How Igbo will be better. We are looking at if there is restructuring. It will accommodate everybody. We are looking at how the young ones will come to us so that we talk and they understand where we are coming from. We are looking at if there is restructuring, it will give us opportunity to have control over the revenue and the expenditure profile within the jurisdiction. What are the part of the causes of this unemployment? Like, we are not been able to exploit the mineral resources within the subsoil and put it to the advantage of the people of the state. We are not been able to exploit them. Look at the coal. Somebody like Peter Mba is a disruptive thinker. He has the capacity to be able to turn around things in what we call coal, and employment will commence. People will be sitting on wealth. You cannot even exploit it. You cannot use it. And because everything is controlled from the center, Abuja. So that's why we're talking about restructuring. I think that we're able to have restructuring. All this, what our boys are talking about, cessation, there will not be any need for that. Because one, we will have an opportunity to take control over our own resources. And of course, Igbos are very outreaching. We are very comfortable wherever we are. If you go to almost all the markets in West Africa, Ghana, I've visited all these places. Each time I enter, sometimes in some markets in Ghana, they will be speaking Igbo. So we are very comfortable wherever we are. So so whatever budget is, when you talk about budget of Ghana, every budget in Ghana will always end in their central market. And those in the central market of Ghana, they are the Igbo. If you go to Sierra Leone, the whole budget in Sierra Leone will always end in the market of Sierra Leone. And those in the market of Sierra Leone, they are Igbo. We are there to harvest. Go to Houston. When I was in Houston, Texas, I was surprised whether I was still in Nigeria. Everywhere we are outreaching. So we can reach anywhere, yet have our own, consolidate our own base and take a full advantage of it. And yet take control of what is happening in all the markets in the world. That is what the structure is talking about. So, but if we narrow ourselves to Igbo land, it's not to our own advantage because we are very outreaching sort of people. We move about. We can turn adversity into opportunity and exploit it to our own advantage. So the wider the space Igbo have, the better for them. Thank you. Understand?
Very well, thank you.
Our young boys in IPOB, whatever, should come together. Let's all reason to let's understand. I have children. I have grown up. What you can talk of children, quality wise, I have them. I'm talking about their own interests. And when I talk my own children, I'm talking about children everywhere. I hope you understand. Every child is my own son. So, but sometimes they think that we are not protecting their interests. They label us and they label us this and that. But I'm comfortable with it because personally, I'm very proud that I've not had any dealings with anybody with respect to how to mortgage interests of the Igbo for one thing or the other. I hope you understand. Yes. That's where we are.
So much. I mean, thank you for clearing the air on that and separating fact from fiction, because that's why the media is here, sometimes to correct impressions. Would you like to drop any other disclaimer before we end the show? Because a lot of mainstream media platforms did take the story, did take the statement, and it's been going around publicly. Is there any final disclaimer that you have?
A caveat, a kind of advice. When people say Ohaneze, please read and know whether it is Emuche, Muche, or Dr. Alex Obonia, or Emmanuel Iwanyang. That's my advice. When they say Ohaneze, they flash Ohaneze. Without knowing whether it is that is not legitimate and genuine Ohaneze. So I'm only advising that when you say Ohaneze, please look to know whether it is legitimate and genuine Ohaneze or the fake transactional Ohaneze. So that is the question.
Thank you
and if
so
that
much.
is done, all this thing wouldn't have been necessary. When you would, if you had seen it, say, oh no, this one illegitimate. These are the spinners. This one are the transactional people who are the interlopers.
Transactional.
That's the one. So you will not even have been bothered yourself inviting me to come and clear the air. But finally, I'm saying that any person who is an Igbo that has taken the breast of the mother that will come to say that three governors in the southeast are comfortable with releasing Nnamdi Kanu, it's not helping the Igbo. I hope you understand.
Yes.
He's not giving the impression that Igbos are united. He's not giving the impression that we are comfortable with his release. He's not giving the impression that Ohaneze is one.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Chiedozie Ogbonnaya, National Publicity Secretary, Ohaneze Ndibo, worldwide, the non transactional Ohaneze. Thank you. And on that note, we draw the curtains on the show today. It's been a pleasure waking up, as always, to entertain you, to inform you, and in this case, to clear the controversy, to clear the air. Your host, as always, Nathan. You do have a lovely day ahead.
Received the delegation of the former president, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, GCFR, Chief Emeka Anyoko, GCON, and His Royal Majesty Igwe Emeka Achabe, CFR, the Obi of Nature, who came on a solidarity visit to this forum. The forum deliberated on the reviewed report of the Southeast Security and Economic Summit held in Owerri on the 28th September 2023 and agreed to implement the aspects of the report pertaining to security and economic integration of the region and affirmed its desire to put actionable plans on the key issues agreed. The forum resolved to visit Mr. President to discuss the pressing issues, all pressing issues concerning the Southeast region. The forum also deliberated and resolved to interface with the federal government to secure the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And the meeting adjourned whenever. Signed, His Excellency the Governor of Imo State, Senator Hope Uzodinma CON. His Excellency Dr. Lex Oti OFR, the Governor of Abia State. His Excellency Professor Chukwuma Soludo CFR, the Governor of Anambra State. His Excellency Right Honorable Francis Winfo, the Governor of Ebonyi State. And finally, our host governor, His Excellency Dr. Peter Mba. Thank you all, and may God
Yes, Biafrans, good night. We just passed the message for people who is following up. Thank you. Tomorrow we will come for analysis. We love you.